Creatives and art enthusiasts in and around the mother city are in for a treat this week with the return of the NATi Theatre Festival. Now, this is a collaboration between the Suidoosterfees and NATi to bring audiences a week-long program of various productions through an intimate and safe theatre experience. As part of this year's week-long program, various productions will be staged at the festival's main hub, the Artscape in Cape Town. Professor Brian Figaji is the chairperson of the board of Suidoosterfees and he joins me now via Skype to tell us more about it. Professor, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe, and thank you very much for having us.
Just take us through in greater detail what this festival is all about.
Well, you know, given the pandemic, we had to trim down our usual festival. This is primarily an Afrikaans language festival, targeting all people who use Afrikaans, but there's quite a bit of English in the program as well. So we have a serious developmental program, which we do in conjunction with NATi and with the Jakes Gerald Foundation. Mm-hmm. And then we have a sort of literature piece, and then we have the sort of general programs on the stage, ranging from musicals to theatre and opera.
Okay, let's talk about the festival slogan, which is a festival for all, and how it's reflected through the productions on the program.
So we try primarily to help young people to get onto the stage. So in two ways, we have a relationship with the Jakes Gerald Foundation, where we take young writers away and we put them through a 3-week writing program. And when they're done, NATi supports us, and those writers are able to put together some actors, and they produce that show, and we provide the stage for them. Last year, we also included songwriters, so people who write the lyrics. And because that has just recently been started, we this year will have the first show where the people who wrote lyrics during a workshop are now going to bring that back and have a musical evening with the lyrics they've written. So we develop young people and we give them an opportunity to perform so that people can see them and therefore hopefully launch their careers. And we've had some significant success in the past.
All right, what are some of the topical social issues and themes that will be highlighted during this festival?
Well, there's always the theme of race, there's always the theme of gender, there's always the theme of poverty, there's the people who beg on the streets, there's domestic violence. There's quite a range of themes that will be tackled.
Well, Professor, we do understand that, we know that the theatre and the creative arts industry is one of the hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've seen the curtain closing forever for some of the theatres. So how has this pushed you, to think creatively and out of the box when putting this year's program together?
Well, last year we had a torrid time, and we already were quite far down the road in planning our festival last year, which we then had to cancel. In order to help the artists, we were able to speak to our sponsors, and we paid the actors and the performers 50% of what we would have paid them last year without them performing, and we carried over a lot of those performances into this year. So we've worked with all the people in the arts fraternity to help them over this pandemic. Last year, we had a drive-in, we had a huge stage, and at Atlantic Studios, which is some of our partners, we had a drive-in theatre, which worked very well. This year, because of the lockdown restrictions are being lifted a bit, we are able to move into the theatre, but of course, we can only have 100 people in the theatre at any given time. So we have very strict COVID-19 regulations with notices to people, sanitizing in at one door and out at the other, and very limited.
Okay, we're out of time, unfortunately,
occupancy.
Professor. But you say that this year's festival will be in accordance with the national pandemic regulations with only a limited number of tickets available for each production. Let's talk about this and the ticketing details as well.
Yeah, so they'll be limited. There are quite a few shows already sold out, of course. But the interesting one is we have a relationship with one of the hotels where for 650 Rand per person per night, you can spend a night and enjoy 3 shows. So we primarily want to make sure that we give artists an opportunity. This is not about making a profit.
Okay. All right. Professor Figaji, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sipiwe.